I was born with a rebellious streak. I literally can't understand what people want from me. My foster mother once told me my brother deserved to attend school, while I could not, because he possessed something I apparently lacked. That same night, I grabbed a pair of scissors and cut that extra something right off him. My foster parents lost it. They beat me until I saw stars, then handed me over to the old bachelor who lived at the edge of the village. By dusk, I had slipped rat poison into his dinner. He spent the night in the hospital, and I got dragged right back home. My foster parents stopped feeding me, threatening to starve me. Fine then, if I could not eat, neither could anyone else. I ran to the fields and set every crop in the village on fire. So when my biological parents finally located me, the villagers were celebrating with drums and firecrackers. My foster mother clutched my mom's hands with tears running down her cheeks. "Your daughter is not normal. You need to get her head checked." My mom had no idea what she meant, not until we got home, and the adopted daughter started her little act right in front of me. "Pearl, your old room gets the most sun. I'm used to it now. Can you let me keep it, please?" I stared at her. "Megan, will you die without sunlight?"
No.
She lifted her hands. "But the doctor said my circulation is bad. I need 8 hours of sun every day. So I need the rooms with the best light. You can take the maid's room." She sounded like a plantation lady giving orders to staff. She did not even wait for my answer before having my things dumped in the maid's quarters. Watching her walk off, I laughed. Then I went to the hardware store and bought 18 space heaters. That night, I slipped into Megan's room. I placed a sleeping pill in her mouth, set all the heaters around her bed, turned every one of them to the highest setting, and plugged them all in. An hour later, Megan screamed like a pig being slaughtered. Her skin was red, swollen, and covered in angry patches. My parents rushed her to the hospital. When they returned and checked the cameras, they saw exactly who did it. Before sunrise, I was dragged out of bed. Dad was trembling with anger as he demanded to know why I had done it. To help her get better, I said while yawning. She said she needed sunlight for her health. I was helping the process. Dad barely held himself back. "What about the sleeping pill?" I blinked. I was worried she could not handle it. If she slept through it, she would not feel anything. He did not appreciate my concern. Mom had to calm him down. They ordered me to apologize to Megan at the hospital. Seeing them ready to faint from stress, I agreed. The next morning, I bought a fruit basket and went with Mom. I apologized in front of Megan. Just then, a nurse called Mom out for a signature. The moment she stepped out, Megan dropped the sweet act. She made me peel an orange. After I handed it to her, she smiled. "Pearl, you know Mom and Dad love me more. They adopted me after you were kidnapped. They never mentioned you for years. Before you came back, they could not sleep. They were so anxious. How sad is it that your own parents barely wanted you? If I were you, I would go back to that filthy little place you came from so you wouldn't be such a burr." She never finished the last word. My hand shut her mouth quickly. I pounced on her and slapped her left and right. Smack, smack, smack. She finally found her voice and started bawling. Before I could continue, someone grabbed me from behind. "Pearl, what is wrong with you?" I looked up. It was my brother, the one I had not seen in forever. Yesterday, Mom and Dad claimed he was on a business trip. But the small suitcase next to the door told me he had come straight from the airport. And judging by his expression, he was not here to welcome me home. After checking Megan's injuries, he pointed at my face and snapped. "Are you out of your mind?" "Nope," I told him. Megan sniffled beside him. "Brad, what should I do?"
Pearl hates me.
I only asked her about her childhood and she hit me. Maybe I should just move out. Her tears melted his brain. He grabbed my wrist and barked. "Apologize."
Why?
"Because you scared her," he shouted. "She did nothing and you just attacked her. Shouldn't you?" He stopped when I pulled out a small voice recorder. I pressed play. Everything Megan said, every insult, every provocation, echoed through the room. Silence dropped over us. Megan's face went pale then red. Brad's face went red then pale. He shot her a look. "How could you say that to her?" Megan trembled, putting on her most helpless expression. "I didn't mean it, I was just joking with Pearl." I assumed no rational person would buy that. But Brad did. "Pearl, you heard her. She was joking. Megan is still your sister. You are older. Can't you stop making everything into a battle?" I considered arguing, but then nodded. His whole attitude softened. He hugged me and welcomed me home. Then he told me to delete the recording and not tell our parents. "Mom and Dad feel guilty about losing you," he said. "No need to bring up the past. Let's move on." He was not worried about hurting them, he was worried Megan would get blamed. But I deleted it anyway. After slapping her, I no longer cared. Mom came back then. She was shocked by Megan's swollen face, but under Brad's smooth explanation, she believed Megan bumped into something. The doctor said Megan could go home. Mom had to rush to the company, so Brad would handle the discharge and drive us back. He happily agreed, anything for Megan. An hour later, he finished the paperwork. As he helped us to the car, Megan suddenly cried out. Brad immediately tensed. What is wrong? Megan pointed at me, then at the back seat. Brad, my face still hurts. The doctor said no wind on it. And Pearl smells weird. It makes me nauseous. She even fake gagged. It is probably from where she lived before. I am not disgusted by her. I just feel really sick. Can she walk home or take cab? It is only 5 miles. I stayed quiet while Brad frowned. He actually considered it. Then he looked at me. Pearl, maybe you could. Sure, I said before he finished. I can walk, but I want to leave something in your car. He looked relieved and opened the door. What do you need to leave? I smiled, pulled out a lighter, flicked it on, and tossed it inside. Just a little fire. Brad's car must have been decorated by Megan. It was stuffed with every plush toy imaginable. The moment I tossed the lighter in, the toys erupted in flames, shooting high into the night sky. By the time Mom and Dad got the news, the car was reduced to a charred frame. They rushed over, faces pale, eyes wide, only to freeze when they saw me standing there calm and expressionless. They remembered my foster mother's warnings instantly. Forget the car, they decided. First things first, get her head checked. Mom and Dad whisked me to the city's top psychiatric hospital. After a barrage of tests and interviews, the specialist declared me a textbook case of antisocial personality disorder. Mom collapsed into tears. Dad buried his face in his hands, muttering under his breath. Brad just stood there, stony and silent. Megan, seizing the moment, spoke weakly, "Don't worry. I know a specialist, a foreign doctor, who just opened a practice here. He handles cases like, well, Pearl." Hope sparked instantly in the room. Mom and Dad urged her to make contact. Brad even patted her shoulder. "Megan, you always come through." I watched her quietly, knowing the truth behind that charming facade. A few days later, Megan announced she had arranged the appointment. Only, the doctor allowed a single family member to attend each session. Since Megan made the call, she alone would accompany me. But she didn't take me to a clinic. She drove me to a rundown dog training facility on the outskirts. The moment we stepped out, her smug mask slipped, replaced by raw triumph. "This it?" I asked, unimpressed. Calling this place a clinic was an insult. It was a glorified kennel. Rows of iron cages housed barking, aggressive dogs. What else? Expecting an actual doctor? Megan sneered. "Look at you. You think you're worthy of treatment." I asked calmly, "Aren't you worried Mom and Dad will find out?" She laughed. "You're crazy now. Who would believe a lunatic?" "Why do you hate me so much?" I asked. "Why else?" "I just do," she spat venomously. "You should have rotted in that village with the Johnsons. When you came back, all of Mom and Dad's attention went to you. You didn't deserve it." I laughed. "Deserve it? This is my home. If I hadn't been missing, would they have even noticed you?" Her face twisted with fury. "You think this is your home? I've been here 5 years. They see me as their daughter. You're dirty, crazy, unwanted. Crawl back to that hillbilly hole or what?" I asked. She smiled creepily. "I'll make you disappear." Something inside me snapped. I raised my hand to strike, but a large grip caught my wrist. 2 more men appeared from the shadows. I was slammed to the ground, head pressed to dirt. Megan laughed. "Thought you could hit me here?" She reached into my jacket, grabbed the voice recorder, and crushed it under her heel. "You're antisocial, right? Love violence? Today, I'll give you a proper welcome." She slapped me repeatedly. Blood filled my mouth. My breathing hitched. Excitement surged. "Megan, kill me today or you won't live to see tomorrow." She paused, then laughed. "Lunatics really are lunatics. You want to fight? Fine, I'll give you one." She signaled the dogs. But even after a few hits, I lifted my head and smiled. Eerily, deliberately. "Megan," I said quietly, "what would Mom, Dad, and Brad think if they saw you now?" She sneered. "Stop. Your recorder is gone. Even if you're hurt, they'll just think you're violent. No one will believe a word." "Oh." I tilted my head and pulled a small device from my pocket. Its red light blinked faintly. Megan's pupils shrank. Outside, sirens wailed. I laughed. Even lunatics can call 911. Mom and Dad burst through the doors with the police. Megan turned ghostly pale, legs weak, but she tried to plead. Mom, Dad, wait, I didn't mean it. Let me explain. Mom's disappointment was sharp. Explain? We heard everything. Dad shook his head. We adopted you because we lost Pearl. All these years, we treated you kindly, even more because of guilt. But we never imagined you couldn't accept our real daughter. Mom added, after this is sorted, we'll contact the orphanage. No, Brad shouted, shielding Megan behind him. I won't let you send her away. Mom frowned. Brad, do you know what she did to Pearl? I didn't mean it, Megan cried, gripping Brad's clothes. I only wanted to help Pearl. Mom's patience snapped. Help her? She's a violent lunatic, not a patient. Brad's words silenced the room. Pearl is like a mad dog. She commits arson. She causes chaos. You shouldn't punish Megan. You should send Pearl to a hospital. Dad slapped him across the face. How dare you? Pearl is your real sister. Brad's cheek burned, but he kept Megan close. Suffered? Who knows if her suffering is real? Megan's been with us 5 years. If you send her away, I'll go with her. I laughed flat. Brad, love her all you want, but if Megan goes to prison instead of an orphanage, will you follow her there too? Brad lost it. Pearl, what are you saying? A few scratches, minor. I'm here. Nothing will happen. I smiled wider. Who said I'm charging her with assault? I stared at Megan, each word deliberate. I'm charging her with human trafficking. The room froze. Brad erupted. Pearl, you'll accuse anyone to get rid of Megan. She was 12. How could she have trafficked you? I sneered. And how do you know the trafficker wasn't a child? Brad crossed his arms. Mom and Dad watched the footage. The kidnapper was clearly an old woman. I explained. On my first day of school, a woman collapsed beside me on the bus, begging me to help her to a hospital. I hailed a cab with her, only to be driven far from the city and sold into the mountains. What no one knew, that old woman had the voice of a 12-year-old child when speaking with accomplices. Brad's jaw dropped. You really think Megan trafficked you based on that? I looked at him coldly. I recognized her instantly. That mole by her eye, the same as the little old woman. Just a mole? Brad mocked. Many people have them. Mom and Dad exchanged skeptical glances. Megan, too, protested. Pearl, that director loves children. She couldn't be involved. I shrugged. Then she must be part of the gang. Megan erupted. How dare you insult her? She's devoted to children. I stared her down. You think I'll stay after such lies? The family that first bought me was named Johnson, not whatever you thought. Remember that. Megan shuddered. Over the 5 years I was missing, I passed through 4 different households. The first was an old bachelor. The moment he saw me, he tried to take advantage. I knelt and begged, promising him my family had plenty of money. He agreed verbally. But the instant I bolted, he grabbed me by one leg, dragged me across the floor, and my face scraped raw, bone showing. The more it bled, the more excited he became. When he tried to assault me further, he suddenly collapsed, dead. Locked inside with the corpse for 2 weeks, I survived until his relatives found me. I thought they would release me, but instead, I was sold to another family. After years of abuse and trauma, I became what I am today, cold, calculating, without a shred of sympathy. Provoke me, and I retaliate to the extreme. And the final family couldn't take it. They called the police themselves, admitting they had bought a child. At that moment, my parents remembered the last family had been named Henderson, not Johnson. Mom and Dad's faces darkened. Brad turned to Megan, red-eyed, demanding answers. Megan panicked for a moment, then tried to recover. I must have remembered wrong. Pearl, one mistake doesn't make me a trafficker, does it? I laughed. Oh, I have more than one piece of evidence. The biggest is your dog Pound. Her face went pale. I smiled. If I'm right, this place is your headquarters, isn't it? Before being sold to the old bachelor, I spent 2 days in a pitch-black room, reeking of dog stink, constantly hearing barking. I never forgot that smell. Stepping into this dog Pound, I realized instantly it had been the trafficker's transit station. Megan scoffed. All dog Pounds smell the same? Pearl, you're insane. I left marks there, I said, heading straight to the police. I bit my finger and wrote my name on the wall in blood. The officers sprang into action. Megan's face drained of color as the police expanded the search. Her panic leaked through her forced composure. Brad noticed. "Megan, tell me, is this true?" She tried to smile. "Brad, believe me, I didn't do it." An officer shouted. "Hidden room found. Iron rings and chains fixed to the floor. Looks like they were used to restrain people." Dad helped Mom, who nearly fainted. Another officer found marks on the wall, dark red writing. Forensics confirmed it. The word Pearl, written in blood years ago. Brad grabbed Megan's shoulders, shaking with anger.
Why?
"You were 12. How could you do this?" Even with her mask on, Megan feigned innocence. She pulled out a knife, pressing it against Brad's throat. Everyone froze. Brad, who had defended her moments ago, whispered, "Why? Why else?" Megan spat. "Because you're all stupid and easy to fool. You adopted me instead of leaving Pearl missing. I hate you." Officers surrounded them. Mom and Dad begged for mercy. Megan didn't hurt Brad, but demanded a car and cash. Police provided the vehicle, and Dad arranged $500,000 in cash. As she moved toward the car with Brad as hostage, he suddenly turned, slashing across his neck with the knife. Then he pinned Megan to the ground, his blood dripping onto her face. She froze, then laughed until tears ran down her cheeks. "Lunatics. You and your sister are both lunatics," she screamed. Megan was arrested. Under interrogation, she confessed to trafficking me, along with her mother, the orphanage director. The dog pound had indeed been their transit station. Megan had not been an orphan. Her mother had used her as a tool from the beginning. She had planned everything, targeting me out of jealousy over the love I received from my family. Her scheme included manipulating Brad and our parents into adopting her. Megan and her mother were sentenced to life in prison. Many trafficked children and women were rescued due to their confessions. My parents sent me abroad for treatment. They handed over the family business to Brad and searched relentlessly for specialists to cure my condition. During treatment, I never left the house, taking sleeping pills if dark thoughts arose. It worked. Brad was initially depressed after Megan's arrest. First, because he had deep feelings for her. Second, because he felt guilty facing me. He avoided conversation, simply nodding at me until my departure abroad. On the day I left, Brad drove me to the airport. He wanted to speak, but stopped. Finally, he lowered his head. "Pearl, I'm sorry. I hurt you." His eyes were red, tears falling uncontrollably. "For 2 years after you disappeared, I missed you. I wondered if I had done something differently. Would this have happened? But there are no ifs. You were kidnapped, our family suffered, and I tried to restore normalcy by focusing on Megan." Brad explained that he had mentally replaced me with Megan, transferring all his affection to her. "I've thought a lot these past days," he said, voice hoarse. "I wronged you. I was afraid you'd replace her. I was afraid Mom and Dad wouldn't love her anymore. But I forgot about your suffering."
I'm sorry.
"Truly sorry." I stepped forward, hugging him. "It's okay, Brad. I forgive you." For the sake of those years of care and the love he had misdirected, I could forgive him. I would also work to heal myself, to become the Pearl my parents remembered.